We've got a Memphis HOH in the Big Brother house. It's getting good. This is the Secret Alliance. Okay, so Dani, we saw Memphis win. He's got the power. He's trying to turn up the game.
He is trying to go. You know what? It's so funny. I didn't expect Memphis to come through with that HOH. And I was like, wow, Memphis is in the house. And what I like about, I had no clue who he was going to nominate. What I like about Big Brother is when we don't have a clue who's going to go up. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it great, right? Because we don't know. We kind of speculate and we watch the live feeds and don't know. And we don't know his reasoning. But then you kind of get his reasoning in the show. And I was like, interesting.
Well, I thought it was pretty telling when he was saying, I'm going to try to get everybody to use that VIP card. Get them to use the safety suite. Then he's the only one holding it. But a few people didn't fall for it.
No. I would have held on to that sucker. I'm like, I ain't using it. I don't care. Put me up. I would not use it.
So earlier in that episode, too, on Sunday night, we saw Memphis and, Ian, Nicole A., and Kevin picking who would become have-nots for the week. And this is really creating some drama. So if you were a have-not this week or the past week, then you choose for the current week. So Memphis chose David. Yeah. And then we saw him in the diary room, and Memphis said, I want this guy to break down. And he called him a rookie. He was looking for David to break down.
Yeah. And you know what?
What's he got against David?
Well, so here it is. Okay. So you guys, it's sports, right? It's all a game here, right? Yeah. And it's just, I tell people, and the fans need to understand that Memphis was just doing what you fans were thinking.
Okay.
All you guys said all the time that David did not deserve to be an All-Stars, right? So if you're a fan and you think that way, how do you think some players going into All-Stars may think? I'm just saying. So I could see Memphis.
Right. Fair enough.
Right? And so the other thing too, the most dangerous player is the one you're unsure about. Right? Yeah. So when you think about games, or if you don't have tapes, you know how they say, let's look at the video. What's the video of this player, right? Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks or anything like that. But if you don't have anything.
You got nothing to study, right?
You got nothing to study. So therefore you're scared, right? So I understand Memphis nominations to the core. I personally know playing with Chicken George in All-Stars. And you playing with David, you don't know what David is capable of. Why not nominate him?
Okay.
I would have.
Because you don't want a Chicken George from the first All-Star to come in, and as we learned on a previous episode of the Secret Alliance, he'll ruin the game. Chicken George
he ruined the game. He ruined my game. He ruined my game in particular, but I'm just saying. But that's what a lot of people had some concerns with Memphis basically calling David out. But he, it was disrespectful. It was rude. But I understand where he was coming from. But he could have been more respectful when he was doing those nominations. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so Ian picked for a have-not, Nicole F. She volunteered. And so she put her hand up. Although, but here's a good strategy move. This is a week where she felt she was safe, so you can be miserable this week. And then on a week where you need to compete, you need to try and win. Now, she's going to be struggling come HOH competition, but maybe next week she's on food. I don't know. Is it strategic?
No, it doesn't matter.
No? Okay.
The food thing does
she
not
just made it easy for Ian.
Big Brother.
Yeah.
It's Big Brother, people. It's not so good. You realize it doesn't really matter.
About Nikki. Nikki A., she chose Christmas to be a have-not, and then Kevin picked Kaser. But keep in mind, though, after this week of these guys being have-nots, David, Nicole F., Christmas, and Kaser, they'll pick the have-nots for the following week.
I love it.
So it gives them a little power after being a have-not. Yeah.
It's like the most great opportunity to stick it to someone. Right?
Yeah.
With a smile.
And you can flip that back on the person who made you a have-not.
You could.
I would guess,
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Memphis tried to get people to use that safety card. He wanted them to burn it.
He wanted them to burn it.
And some people did.
And some people, like dummies, did. But it made perfect sense. I was like, that's smart, Memphis. Yeah, make them all use it. So when you need to use it, You're not competing with everybody else. It made perfect sense. That was genius. Absolutely genius.
Okay, let's talk about the nominations. What are your thoughts now of those sitting on the block?
I'm at the point, I know it's only week 2, Jason, but I feel like all these BB players are like my children. So I get upset when anybody's nominated. Baby girl, Nikki A, just breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart that David is
Baby girl, Nikki. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm torn. I really want David to stay. But then
David's up on the block. So David and Nikki, that don't want to miss that. You want David to stay, or you want Nikki to stay?
I don't know. I really want David to stay. I want David to stay and nominate Memphis, but then I kind of really want Ian to win HOH. I got a lot of things going on. They're like children. I like them all.
I know.
I want all. I want Janelle and Keesha to win a HOH. I want a lot of stuff happening. I don't know.
Why do these house guests have such an affinity for Ian? And I know you have met Ian. I haven't met him yet. You really respect him. He may be I think you said he is your favorite Big Brother winner.
Ultimate favorite Big Brother house guest.
What is it about this guy? And
it's so cute.
We're going to talk to Keesha in a moment. We're going to ask her about Ian, right? So Dani, what is it about Ian?
So Ian is so adorable. And what I love about Ian, when we were first introduced to Ian, was this nerdy guy, right? Who did the rocking thing. He's on, the spectrum, basically. And what people tend to not understand about Ian still has a lot of game in him, obviously, because he won. He beat one of the best players in Big Brother history. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, he is not threatened by anybody. So the misconception about Ian is because he's nerdy and he's super smart and he's this like nerdy kind of guy that you can just run over him. But no, that's not the case. Mm-mm. And that's why I like him, because I remember him on his original season when him and Frank got into it. I mean, he gave him the bird. He was like cussing around. I was like, who is this? Yeah, Ian. And I just like him. I really do. And if you meet him, he has this Southern slang about him, and he only says things that are simply important. So when he speaks, it's important. So I just love Ian. When you meet him, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, these house guests are getting wrapped up in the vortex, so it's pretty interesting to watch. One thing to talk about here before we get to Keesha, our first BB22 evictee, and we're going to get to that in just a moment here. Dani, we got to talk about what was really a powerful moment of television, just a powerful time in that episode Sunday night when Devon and Bayleigh were talking about growing up, and then what Devon was saying in the diary room. It was so powerful.
It was so powerful to the point I'm getting checked up. Sorry, give me a moment. I think people don't understand what it's like growing up. A person of color. A lot of times you don't know how it is to be judged for the way you look. And you can't change it because this is how we are, right? Yeah. So a lot of times when people are rude or things don't happen great to us in life, we always have that in the back of our hand. And when Devon shared what she was going through, where, the misconception of her skin color, how that was deemed this way, and how she's overcome that, I got chills to see that phoenix rise up like that, to see this Black woman, this beautiful chocolate woman say, I am beautiful, I'm gold, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. Man, I kind of up in there, Jason. I felt that, and I loved every moment of it, and I think it just gave America the insight of what we go through daily in our lives and how we grow up and how we go through certain struggles. So kudos to CBS and Big Brother for highlighting that. And Devon, you are a queen indeed. And those Black girl magic with her and Bayleigh is just so delicious to watch. I love it. I love it.
Me too. And we all felt it. And that was just such a powerful moment.
Powerful.
We stopped down from the game for just a moment, and it was so worth it. And it was so important. And I'm so glad. And just to echo what you said, Dani, that they did that on the show. And Big Brother tweeted it out. If you haven't seen it, find it on social media, on our Twitter account, a secret alliance will share that Big Brother video, because it's just really something everybody needs to see. And
everyone needs to see it.
If this is, you go, I didn't grow up this way, this is not my viewpoint. You can see through somebody else's eyes, and it gives you so much perspective and so much understanding. And your heart can go, oh yes, we're humans. Why does this happen? And I need to look at the world in a different way. So I loved it. I loved it. It was the best.
Everyone needs to be a little bit kinder and be a little bit more human and be kind. And I think it testifies of us being human beings and to be kind to one another, right? Yeah. It's no need to be so ugly and everything. We all bleed red. We all love each other. And when Julie Chen, do unto others if you have them do unto you, that is just the commandment, just to be nice to one another and be respectful. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. I will snatch a soul. But at the same time, you want to be nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. So kudos to Devon. I just kudos. I love her.
We do too. Okay, so we saw last week Keesha walk out of the Big Brother house. I got a shirt to share with her. Let's get to that interview. Hello. Hi. Look.
Hi.
Keesha. How are you feeling?
Overwhelmed right now, but that's okay.
Talk about that. Where are you coming to us from today, if you can say?
So I'm still in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So getting out of the house, are you readjusting to life after Big Brother? Because before us seeing you on the show, you went through a long process of quarantining, right?
Absolutely. We went through like 2 weeks of quarantine before even going in. And then obviously what everyone else in America has been going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 6 months of quarantine. So it's been a long time.
Was it cool to just hug somebody again? Like somebody you hadn't seen in a long time or maybe never met, and just you could hug them. You're free to do that.
Honestly, that's been the biggest adjustment for me right now. I keep walking out and forgetting my mask. Because I'm so used to being in that house with everyone. So I'm like, oh my gosh, oh no, I forgot my mask. Oh, I'm so sorry,
You'll get back adjusted here. Dani, when you watched Keesha and when we saw her get evicted Thursday night, what were you thinking? What were you saying to the television, Dani?
Keesha, so sorry that you were the first one evicted. I know that's tough and everything. When I saw you go, I was like, I felt for you because I felt like she's either relieved or pissed. So I have to ask you, which one was it?
Well, you're good at reading those emotions. Mm-hmm. It was both, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I didn't want to leave the house. But at that point, I knew that everybody was voting me out. So, you walk around like for a couple hours knowing this, and it's like, okay, here we go.
It's like dead men walking, right?
Nobody wants to be around you. They all avoid you. And you're just like, okay, like, thanks, guys. Yeah.
In hindsight, is there anything that you think you wish you had done just a little differently in those last few days?
My biggest regret, I think, is not getting to know Cody better. I feel like people came into that house, though, already knowing each other. And to be honest, I didn't know hardly anyone. So I knew that it was going to be tough for me compared to some of the other players.
Okay.
Keesha, I really thought you were going to go a little further because of that. I thought people would not, like Cody, I think you were just an easy nomination, like a throwaway, but I really thought you were going to go further in the game because the fact that there were so many other players that will have bigger targets in them. And so I have to ask you this question. Now that you know what's going on, is there a particular player that you wish you would have aligned with sooner in the game?
That's a good question. I would say it's hard because I feel like Cody and Nicole, like they already had this bond to each other. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people were already having this bond with each other, which I was lacking.
Right.
I'm not sure which would have been the right way for me to go. I definitely had a bond with Janelle and Kaser, but unfortunately they're being targeted just as much, so if not even more.
Do you think they're playing a good game? And who else in the house, as somebody who lived there, we see what we see on television in the feeds. Who do you think's playing a good game?
I think Cody is playing a really good game right now, unfortunately.
Why do you say unfortunately?
So you took me out. I don't understand. The one thing I don't understand is I'm still like, why me? Like, why would you go after me? Like, and Kevin of all, they're obviously not going after like the men in the house, like the strong men, you know what I mean? So
I can tell you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of alpha males. I've watched several seasons. I saw what happened to you, Keesha. I saw what happened to Brittany. And quite frankly, I'm surprised you ladies are not letting this happen. Those alpha males get in there and they attack the women, first week. I think the reason why women go first is because it's an easy nomination or an easy eviction. So they feel like it's less blood on their hands sometimes. And I think what Cody did with you and Kevin, I think it was a safe nomination for him because it was he probably felt that it was going to be less blood coming back on him, less revenge back on him. Even if you stayed, or even if Kevin stayed, I think it was a good nomination. I hate to say that, but we'll see. But I have to ask this $1 million question, Keesha.
Oh.
I'm afraid.
Did you ever think at one time or another to go to Memphis and say, hey, let's work something out here? Like,
yes. So I know it didn't show that on the show because I was watching TV. I did go to Memphis. We did have a bond. We did say that we would not vote each other out. I asked him if I had my back. Yes. Okay. There was a whole conversation that wasn't shown. I said,
so you had an 11th hour deal there.
Yeah, I said, you for sure have my back, right? I still have your vote. He's like, of course I need you in this game.
Oh, he did the Dani Jason thing where we tell people they're safe when they're not.
Yeah, but you felt it. You thought it was real, right?
Did you think it was real, Keesha? Did you?
I mean, I did. I'll be honest. Like, I thought in the beginning that he would be there for me. Now, eventually, I didn't think he would. I mean, I know how Memphis is, and I know eventually he was going to go with a guy. But I really didn't see him and Cody being together so soon.
Yeah. Hey, Dani, we got a little game.
Like, before the game started, we was like, Memphis and Cody are going to line. We just knew it.
Yeah, we knew it.
It makes sense. It does make sense. Like, now that I'm out looking back on it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense.
That makes totally sense.
Yeah. I mean, we tried to rope him in with Janelle and Kaiser. We're like, we've got you, right? And he's like, yeah, of course, guys.
Yeah.
And just couldn't do it. Okay, Keesha, let's have a little fun with you here. I'm just going to get you to quickly, don't think about it, just react as I say the names of all your BB22 house guests. What comes to mind? Maybe a word, maybe a phrase. Christmas.
Strong.
David.
Afraid.
Okay, we got to get back to that. Nicole A. Nikki.
So sweet.
Oh.
Dani. Briones, not the one on the call here.
I'm Danielle.
Dani is, how would I describe Dani? Shocking, actually. Like, she's very, like, opinionated.
Okay. What about Cody?
He's a strong player. He is.
How about Kevin?
Weak.
Wow. Okay, Tyler.
Laid back.
Bayleigh.
Craves attention.
Nicole F.
Wow.
You know, Nicole.
Nicole, like, reminds me, like, she's a Midwest girl, so she's, like, we're very similar, to be honest.
Did you feel comfortable with her?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I thought that's what you meant. What about Memphis?
Calculate.
Calculate. I like that. Okay, Enzo.
Which one?
Enzo.
Oh, Enzo. Loud.
Janelle.
Smart. Very smart.
Very smart.
Kaser. Oh, I just much love for Kaser, definitely.
Oh, okay. And Devon?
Outgoing.
Ian?
Oh, brilliant. Ian's on another level.
And what about Keesha Smith?
Backstabbed.
Oh, you didn't do it, but you got it. Okay.
So let me ask this question real quick.
Ask, Dani.
Keesha, you said when we asked about Kevin, you said weak. Do you think the house guests picked Kevin because they felt like he was less threatening than you?
I mean, Kevin just cries a lot. Let me like rephrase this.
Okay.
He's a very nice person, but his nerves are shot. I mean, I'm on the block telling him, "Hey, you're good. You're good." And he's like over there almost in tears. I look over, he's sweating.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And like, he just goes around the house and I was worried about him. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was too, quite frankly.
Yeah, he was really sweating it out, you know?
Keesha, who do you really like in that house?
Okay, so I love Janelle. And I really didn't know how she was going to be before I went in the house. It's really my first experience with her. Yeah. But I think she's amazing. And she had my back. So I've got to give it to her. Out of everyone, she had my back.
Yeah.
And, you know, she really did, right?
She really did. And then, so Keesha, so a lot of viewers don't know who have not met Janelle. And I've had, Jason and I, we are big Sovereign Six fans from season 6, right, Jason? We're like,
yes, really,
yeah. So we met Janelle and that crew, and we realized that cast in particular are extremely tall. But people don't realize Janelle has this presence about her when she enters the room that a lot of people don't realize that about her. So I can see how people find, when she comes in, you're like, oh, this girl.
Yeah,
they could be intimidated.
No joke.
Yeah. Right? She's no joke because she's so tall and statuesque and this called the buxom blonde, right? So she's just, she has this presence when she walks in that women sometimes go, whoa, who's this lady? Either they want to be her friend or they're like, she's threatening, we need to get her out. Or the guys the same way. I felt that the guys find her threatening as well.
Absolutely, they do. The guys absolutely find her threatening. I feel like, you know, I don't like when the girls like all start turning on each other and backstabbing. And I knew like Janelle has a lot of problems with that. So I really wanted to work with her. Like, I'm like, she's smart. She's done this like 4 times. Like, obviously she knows what she's doing.
Right.
Hey, Keesha, we need the dirt on the house. Who's messy in there?
Who's the slob? Is it you? It's not you, is it?
Yeah. No, I'm not messy. Like not. Honestly, it's a very clean house. Everybody took their turn.
That's good.
It was, we all took our turns. Everyone did dishes. Everybody cooked. Everybody was cleaning. I can't name one person that I can say like was really dirty. Oh,
that's really interesting because typically, you know, there are several people who really get dirty up that house.
Our house is season. Clean, our house is really clean. Like
I know, but we had a few people we had to stay on, Dani.
We had to stay on, but we were really
love you, girl. And finally, Keesha, we've been asking, you know, as we've talked to past house guests, you're our very first, the inaugural Big Brother season 22 cast member to talk to, but we're asking who they are picking to win it all in season 22. Can you give us a pick? Who? I mean, it feels like you might say Janelle, but who do you pick to win this thing?
Nah, she's not gonna say Janelle.
My top 3 would be Janelle, Kaser, or I'm teeter-tottering between Ian and Nicole A.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is. Okay. Well, we shall see come finale night. Keesha, is there anything else that you just want to say to the fans who've watched the show before we let you go? We know you got other things to get to.
I just want to tell them I'm so sorry that I didn't get to play for them. I think that's the biggest disappointment.
I know. You know what, Keesha, I will say this, and I'm very empathetic. I think because it's all stars, everyone waits. It's like this waiting game of who's going to make the first move, right? So a lot of people are very guarded, and it's a very difficult game to play with professionals that know how to play the game per se, with the exception of Kevin, who kept crying a lot. But other than that, it's very difficult because is anyone playing? What are we going to play? No one's talking game. What's going on? Did you experience those same things too?
Oh, like that was my biggest frustration. Everybody, like I've read on the feeds, like people like, oh, she should have tried harder. But I did go around. I did campaign. And all they said to me was, oh my gosh, I like you so much. I really want you in this house. And I keep saying, like, what was I supposed to do with that? Every time I would try to have a conversation with someone, even when they're like evicting me, it's like, oh, bye, sweet Keesha. Like, people were not being mean to me. You know what I mean?
Right. It's business. Nothing personal.
Well, Keesha, we know you have to go. They're wrapping us up. CBS is playing the music, and we're going to get the rope. But okay. I'm wearing a T-shirt, and I think the Internet Survival Guide. Never, ever read the comments. So
love it.
That's for you, Keesha.
Thank you, Keesha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for hanging with us today. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Keesha. Okay, so Dani, were you surprised that she was so convinced that Janelle is amazing?
No, I did not. Of course, Janelle is Janelle, right? She is amazing. She's, a lot of people don't realize, like in All Stars, I was a big fan. I tried to kick her out because I knew she could win.
Well, and we need, in this current house, some of these house guests, little spoiler here, but Nicole A, needs to listen to Janelle. It seems Janelle's trying to help her, but she's having a breakdown. Nikki's breaking down there and doesn't think that Janelle is on her side, but it seems she is.
Is it like the cool kids with the nerdy kids? Like she couldn't think possibly that Janelle wants to help her? I don't know. But it's that's what I'm saying. We
need to send good thoughts in there. We hope that a night of sleep and
the thing is,
some food, she'll see the way.
So rampant in Big Brother. Your paranoia is just crazy. Like things happen and but you know what's crazy, Jason, about all these house guests? No one asked a direct question.
Yeah.
Ask a direct question.
If only we could tell them these things, Dani. Just ask a question.
Ask a question. We need
Nikki A to say, Janelle, will you have my back?
Are you
going to keep me in the house?
Are you trying to get rid of me? Do you know every week in Big Brother 3, I asked one question to every house guest. What was it? Are you nominating me?
Yeah, are you nominating me to everybody?
I ask that every week. Are you nominating me?
Yeah.
No. Okay, good. We're good. Oh, who's going to nominate? Oh, okay. I always ask the direct
But that was even less important than when you knew they took a pause and they were like, not you, Danielle. And they're like,
right? No, but I always ask, even when they highlighted in Big Brother, one of the first episodes with me, I said, are you putting me up? I asked a direct question. And I don't know why. And Keesha, I don't know if she did ask those direct questions. We're going to find out. But that's one thing I want to know. Did she ask those direct questions?
Yeah, you got to be direct with those house guests because it's going to be a tell. They're either going to take that pause to figure out what they're going to say, and then because that's the poker, whatever it is, their tell, or you can look into their eyes and you can see this is somebody who's telling you the truth.
This is the thing. Are you guys listening? Because this is very
future BB players.
So the thing is, when you're talking to someone, you should be looking dead in their eyeballs, in the back of their skull, right, Jason? Like this,
and down to their soul.
Question, and they go like this. Look, yes, and they go like this. When they turn and look to the other side or that way, that's them thinking of a lie. Mm-hmm. It's over. It's a lie. So that is my insight tip for future Big Brother players.
There you have it. We end the Secret Alliance on player tips from Danielle Reyes. I love it. Dani, it's so good. This was fun with Keesha.
It was wonderful.
Inside of what's going on in the house. And we have more on our next episode of the Secret Alliance. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Let's dance it out, Dani.
That corny music.
Oh, look into my eye.
That's kind of creepy.
It's totally